Can't exactly
But
do
hey,
that.
draft is up. We'll see what these two teams pick up. Sovereign
Ah,
SG doesn't have a coach, and then it's nice to see coach user 27918273645
I found a way
again.
to memorize his name. I mean, not say memorize, but kind of recite his name better.
Okay.
Just remember the first four, then the three, then the last four. It feels a lot easier. Like,
Okay,
you
okay,
see,
close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes,
I,
and
I,
we'll
I,
try
can't,
it.
I can't just remember right off the
Okay,
bat. Okay,
user 2791.
yeah, 2791,
182,
827,
blink 182.
3645.
Right, and
It, 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 it
73645.
feels to roll off your tongue better.
Okay, I still forgot the first four already.
I remember the first four, but I can't remember the center one. 2791, 827, 3745? Is it 3645?
Yeah, okay, so
Damn,
one number
okay.
off, one number
One
off.
number off, one number off.
Hey, you know what? We are not off of the draft because it's already started up. Sovereign SG will start off the ban with the chip and the Freya. I think the Freya has been a lot of teams targeted ban towards Fate QT, so you don't want to give them give his Freya the light of day. On the other side of the table, though, coach user 27918273645 banning out the Matilda as well as the Fanny. I think they've done their homework as well. Kaleo will be taken out by Sovereign SG as well. Both these two teams look like they are pretty equally matched at this point. Last pick, last ban actually, might be a Baxia right there. A lot of seeded teams are actually using a Baxia, but I haven't seen a Baxia yet this time around. So not too sure what the challenger teams have in store for us, but judging by the look of it, I think they're opening up the Loyes. They're looking to open up the Chusins once again.
Yeah,
Looking to open up the
Kimmy.
Kimmies once again.
Yeah, even the Kimi is currently available, so there is definitely still a lot of possibilities and a lot of things that they can kind of play around with. So we'll see how that is eventually gonna go out as Fulvius is gonna be joining the banning phase. So goodbye to the Fulvius. We are still definitely gonna be looking at the Kimberlin. It will eventually possibly come out. But what others? All right, Lucas. Lucas. Naruto? Wait, where is our Suyo? We haven't had the
We haven't
Suyo
had
versus.
Suyo. I think because Suyo falls off hard in the late game, there's not much that Suyo can possibly do in the late game. Teams usually pick up the Hanzo instead because at least the Hanzo would be able to be safe in within their jungle or in within their base and attack in a non-committal way towards their own enemy backline. But then Everlasting Love. First picks with the Padang. If I'm not wrong, it would be, I was gonna say either the Granger again because they picked up the Granger earlier today, but it will be the Harith this time around.
Okay, so at least the first two pick coming in from Everlasting Love does look pretty decent at this point in time. I'm pretty okay with that. Juice in for the side of Sovereign. So Fulvius banned. Badang is taken away. Glue can still potentially be present in the EXP lane, but I will say that we'll leave that for later on. Rome or Gold Lena does look good. Baxia, okay.
The Pasya will be picked up.
In terms of Chinese, it's like Baxia, how would that be? Baxia.
Pasya, I think so.
Sign
I
again.
really think so.
Yeah.
I really think so.
Sounds more like Hokkien.
Pasya, like 8 prawns.
Eight
prawns.
Baxia. Hey,
Baxia.
wait, you know, no, Baxia.
Pasya.
Baxia.
Why
Sounds
are we
better.
going to Chinese?
Why not?
We have the Zhu Xin.
Yeah, exactly.
Zhu Xin.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a Zhu Xin.
Really?
Zhu Xin. Yeah.
It's not Juicin, man. It's not like one.
Zhu's
One
pig.
and one.
You
Yeah,
don't
you
call
can-
a beautiful girl like Zhu Xin a pig.
So are you telling me
Dang.
that every single lady out there with a Zhu in their name is pig? How dare you?
How dare me?
How dare you?
I will show myself out.
Yeah, please
You will do it.
apologize.
Okay, so back into the draft. Everlasting Love will solidify their first phase pick with the Gato Kacha. Away from the hands of Correx. I think Correx will actually pick up the Baxia for himself in the roam position as well. Everlasting Love banning out the Moskov. Sovereign SG banning out the Luoyi. I feel like Everlasting Love does want to give Harith an easier time, so banning out the Granger or the Bruno would work for them as well.
Very
giving it over.
AoE, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, very team fight based from the side of Everlasting Love. They want to take control of an area once again. Gacha is definitely going to be nice together with that Badang, but I can't get the topic about the Chinese out of my head because now I feel like this intense urge to ask you, how do you say Gacha in Chinese?
I have,
Based on the English word.
dude, I have no idea, man.
Try it.
Don't put me in this spot, man. 嘎托
Gatok.
卡
Keta.
差可差 yeah, kind of works. Kind of works. Gonna make it to the draft though. Jawhead
Let's
getting
go.
banned out, and Hanzo.
Hanzo.
Yeah, what I
Okay.
tell you, man. You want to keep Jusin safe, you gotta ban out the Hanzo.
Gotta go back to Hanzo. So no Hanzo, no Jawhead. We're gonna be looking at the first pick, first blind R4 pick from the start of Everlasting Love. They still haven't had their mage as well as their jungler just yet. So Kimi has been leaked out, especially since we're looking at this lineup. This is actually a really good pick. Really good pick for Kimi, right? Especially when it comes down to traction pulse, it just pulls everyone together. Gatakacha just slams right in, and we'll have another fist break just slam right in while keeping everyone inside the Zaman Force. That is like pure chef's kiss. That is if it actually worked out.
I think the Baxia is typically picked up to counteract the Kimi.
Okay.
As long as you roll yourself in straight into Kimi's face and then deny her from flying away as well. You pair that up with a Tigreal. So Karax will be playing the Tigreal. What did I tell you about the setups coming in from this guy? Really excited to see him play this around. So Baxia and Lucas have a little bit more flexibility. You could play either or into the jungles. I feel like the Lucas should be in the jungle, Baxia in the EXP lane. That would be a very disastrous combo for Everlasting Love to face up against. Last pick, they're missing out a mage. I feel, not mage, they're missing out a jungle.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
No better way to say this. Go straight for Hayabusa to counter the Juicin. So a much better draft from
Everlasting
Evo.
Love.
From
You gotta
Everlasting
stop
Love.
that.
I gotta stop that. I
You
really
gotta
gotta
stop
stop that. But a much better draft, honestly, from Everlasting Love this time around. At least they have some form of counter re-engage. At least they have some form of high ground advantage. At least they have some form of engage potential that's non-committal that could counteract Sovereign SG. Rather than having another team outdraft and outwardly outdraft themselves.
I think that at this point in time, I honestly feel as though that this draft is the normal draft. Well, in the meantime, the previous game is just like, hey, we're going up against Absolute Zero.
Yeah.
Let's just play whatever the hell that we want.
Yeah.
They don't want to give any information.
That's right. But
Smash
you know, hey, it's a new game. It's a new day for Everlasting Love to try to make one game count out for them. It's gonna be a new member for the gold lane this time. It's not Icy Frost. It's gonna be Sus Bomba. Claw pushes Kyushu back right from the start. Shows how annoying this Juicin is, especially when Crow Meow has been playing this.
So, right off the bat, let's take a look at all of the lanes and see how they would fare. When it comes down to the gold lane, of course, Arab does take the cake because of the synchro fusion, being able to clear waves, and of course, poking the enemies at the same time. But in the meantime, for the side of the bottom EXP lane, it is definitely always the Badang that have a very strong lead ahead with very strong crowd control, keeping Baxia within of the mix. Even when you go for the Baxia's shield unity, you kind of stay in the spot like very slow speed for quite a period of time before you can start to, you know, hop across walls. That is one of the best ways that you can probably get yourself out of Badang. But of course, if the Badang positioned himself correctly, he wouldn't be able to vault past the wall.
Yeah. I feel like it's a game of building up the momentum from the early game. Baxia is typically picked up to match the tempo in the early game and try to clear up the waves, go into the enemy jungle and try to disrupt their farm, especially so. But Badang definitely makes it tougher for Baxia to do his thing, especially once you have that wall as well. You only have like one jump from your shoot unity, so difficult to play around it. I see a lot of teams picking up the Badang as a natural counter from a lane to lane perspective against the Baxia. So this might work out well for Everlasting Love. We'll see.
I do actually kind of think that having a Boxer in the EXP lane is actually very interesting because your shield toss doesn't stop at the creep, right? Or rather, doesn't stop at the lane creep. So if Willy, especially in an EXP laner that generally is very committal, melee based, you can just keep on spamming them as long as you actually hit the opponent's hero. So it has the same concept as a synchro fusion, right? You clear wave while poking the enemies at the same time.
So Correx is not going to be playing. It will be Super Lunatic this time around. Kong taking a lot of damage right from the early get-go by the hands of Willy, or the fists of Willy, as the Lord Turtle spawning up in 30 seconds. Does look like Sovereign SG is in a much more passive position than Everlasting Love. I think coming off from the previous game from Everlasting Love, they want some form of revenge. They want some sort of consolation. They need to win this game.
So right off the bat, we already have Kong that doesn't really have a lot of HP down in the bottom lane. He's definitely timing things out so that he's only gonna go home when he knows that the Hayabusa is gonna be clearing up his waves soon. But if you don't go back home right now, then okay, that is completely on him. But it also kind of depends on how he wants to waste the Ogi Shadow Kill off of the Hayabusa, because if you kind of make the Hayabusa use the Ogi Shadow Kill right now, that means that he wouldn't have it for the upcoming total fight.
Yeah, it's in a tough spot where Sovereign SG is, because if you're a boxer, you want to be able to rotate much faster. A little bit of a nice deny for the recall in preparation for that turtle that's spawning up right now. Kong starting that rolling in, trying to find a target onto Fake Cutie. Kyushu in the wall, blocking all the entrance, pushed back by Super Lunatic, getting a lot of hits. The fist crack will land onto two. Really taking a lot of damage, forced to use that flicker out of the way. Crimson Beacon trying to chase him out. The claw will pull him back in, and First Blood over Shrill Meow. The Juice In will take out First Blood as Everlasting Love back on the defense.
Once again, the power of the Juicin is showing, and of course creeping in over to Everlasting Love. Sovereign SG takes the turtle from Everlasting Love with no issues whatsoever, and even gotten a consolation prize being Willy from that mix as well. So Sovereign SG definitely happy with the early stages. They will want to move on from this point onwards with a little bit more aggressiveness from the Lucas.
Nice little passive play from the start, and just knowing that their power spikes is coming in. Kyushu AOG will miss onto Naishiki, forced to use that flicker out of the way. Crucial resources wasted, but saving his own life.
Not really a waste if he managed to walk himself away completely unscathed. He still would have to recall though, so I don't think that's gonna be that big of a deal. In fact, that recall probably will serve him a lot more well, because judging from the rotations, it does seem like Hayabusa is already at his way up to the top lane. So if the Granger were to kind of overstay his welcome in the top lane for any extended period of time, that would have been a free kill for the side of Fate Cutie.
Good reconnaissance by Kyushu, just to read where the enemy is at all times of the map. I see one kill down actually from Everlasting Love that goes into their hands. Actually 2 kills in back line. Starting things off, Kong running for the hills, blocked by the fist crack as Willy locking that down. Pogyako not in a viable position to counter re-engage, as Everlasting Love actually taking one at a time. Very good counter play from Everlasting Love.
Very aggressive play from Everlasting Love. For them to be able to snag up that 2 free kills on the Super Lunatic as well as Krill Meow right within of the enemy jungle as well. In the meantime, Traction Pulse is no longer available, especially since the turtle is up in about 10 seconds. That is going to be a very crucial ultimate that has been, in this case, really wasted.
Kiwi jumps straight into back line, deals a little bit of damage, and backs off. Kyushu not in a viable position to start this turtle off, but they will do so anyways. The Sovereign SG in a better position to start with this one off. Everlasting Love needs to be able to find a flank as 2 members of Everlasting Love down the mid side. Just bombed by Willy, looking for a way to try to get into it. Fake Cutie holding on to the shadows, comes in, misses that, the implosion goes in, and Fake Cutie able to escape with his life. The fist crack onto 3, Kyushu trying to buy enough time for the rest of them to run away as Everlasting Love loses 1 member yet again. Sovereign SG taking team fights one at a time. Sus Bomba chasing down Pogyako, but will not be able to chase him down as Everlasting Love loses out yet another objective.
Not much damage coming in from Sus Bomba, unfortunately, but of course set up a pretty good Traction Pulse onto Sovereign SG. All in all, it's only 1 single kill the Sovereign SG managed to snag for themselves, while also taking the total for themselves. So, all in all, we're looking at about 500 goal lead for the side of Sovereign SG. Still pretty much neck and neck between these 2 teams. We're not really looking at any form of advantage for either one of these sides, but we have finished the laning phase. That pretty much means that the early game is now here. Everlasting Love, understandably, will want to be a little bit more defensive now that we should be be expecting a little bit more movements coming in from the roaming trio of Sovereign SG and perhaps even from Kong.
Speaking of movement, there's the early game rotation from the second turtle up the gold lane, moving down to the bottom side, try to maximize their farm as much as they can as Naishiki slowly but surely coming online. We're slipping into the mid-game mark. 40 seconds till the last turret of the game spawns up. Sovereign SG already has 2 objectives under their belt, almost 1,000 gold lead ahead of Everlasting Love, winning out all on the team fights. What is Everlasting Love's play? They're making top controls, they're making all of these big plays, but the follow-up just isn't there.
So moving on forward, we're gonna have to look out for what they gotta do at this point in time. Of course, with the total that's coming up in yet another 15 seconds, Everlasting Love, they need to get themselves back into the game, right? I would say that when it comes down to the mid stages of the game, that is when they will start to suffer a little bit because they don't really quite have the power spike. They don't really quite have the damage per se. The only one that realistically have any form of damage in the mid stages is Fate Cutie.
Starting things off with the turtle, AOG tries to block off all the advances. The implosion will land onto no one. Super Lunatic a little bit more strange of that play. On the back line, Pokiako takes down one, loses his life in the process. Turtle gets a reset, and Everlasting Love, they're back on the charge. No more jungle for Sovereign SG. Looks like Everlasting Love will take control of this turtle play as long as Super Lunatic or Kong is able to do anything about it. They're saving up all of their resources, so Shadow Kill not used as of now. And Everlasting Love easily picks up the 3rd turtle of the game.
Finally, Everlasting Love took a turtle of their own. I gotta have to say, right, that was a very aggressive play from Pokiako, considering the fact that he is the jungler. After all, they need him alive. But in the meantime, it does seem as though that Sovereign SG, they want to take control of the river lines, but Everlasting Love is just not gonna allow them to do that. Considering that they did win the fight previously, with no Lucas around, they can be more aggressive.
Nice little backline play onto the Shadow Kill. Flicker won't save Kuro Meow. Down goes the Juice in the fist crack onto Super Lunatic. There's the implosion play into the AOG. Kyushu saves Willie with his life. Sus Bomba from the back line cleaning up. And Akashi coming in with the counter re-engage. They take down 2, and Everlasting Love, they take what they can and they get away.
Lovely body block from the side of Kyushu, ensuring that Willie will still be able to stay alive even after the Tailed Beast bomb. And now Everlasting Love break on over to the mid lane T1. Definitely going off the tangent, I would have expected that Sovereign will be a lot stronger when it comes down to mid stages, just because of the fact that they do have a Lucas that will be pretty crazy. And of course, I gotta have to talk about Juicin, right? Juicin will play alongside as this roaming trio just so perfectly well, and they will just make Kyushu have such a difficult point in time, or rather difficult play, where he's forced to Avatar Guardian out of team fights most of the time.
Yeah, Sovereign SG actually have had a much better early game, but coming into the late game mark, Everlasting Love is showing that they are winning out on these team fights, and it's all due to the fact that Kyushu and Willie are able to get it setups right. Night, Shiki, and Crow Meow taking a lot of damage, revitalized, already popped by Kong, just to keep all of them up alive. Big Cutie showing that the damage is coming through with the Shadow Kills. As Everlasting Love back on the aggression. 5 seconds until the Lord spawns up. What's the play for Sovereign SG?
Sovereign SG, at this point, I think it's just going to be a little bit of defensive play, right? Pokiako currently level 13, Fate Cutie is also level 13. If they really do want to go for this Lord fight, it is mostly going to be a all-out battle, because as a Lucas, you don't really have any opportunity or any kit that allows you to go in and steal. It is a very comical hero after all. If you do join in the fight, you gotta have to unleash the beast.
Speaking of unleashing the beast, the Lord already started up. Looks like he'll get a lot of resets. This is a very precarious dance that we're watching right now. Sovereign SG wants to make the first move, but they need to be able to find the right targets. Fake Cutie searching for it. That's a traction pulse onto Crow Meow. Down goes the Juice in. That's the whole sequence of events all starting up. The Shadow Kill taking down 1, taking down 2. 4 members of Sovereign SG go down. Pokiako all alone, unleashing the beast for himself. The Fist Crack will lock him down in place. That's a wipeout for Sovereign SG as Everlasting Love takes a free Lord for themselves.
Okay, so Akashi now is pretty farmed up already, right? 3:0:5. While in the meantime, that traction pulse just sealed the deal over to Creo Meow. I mean, Creo Meow gotta do what he gotta do, right? This is just kind of what Juicin is capable of doing, but he wasn't he wasn't fast enough when it comes down to the flicker. That was the kind of flicker that you would want to use against that traction pulse in order to not be pulled in, because he was the catalyst of starting that team fight and pulled everyone in that small little choke point. And that choke point is just absolutely perfect for what Everlasting Love wants to do. They want team fight, tap ball.
Sus Bomba, what a play, setting the motion for the sequence of events, turning a small little wave into a huge tsunami, and every one of Sovereign SG was very counter-reactive. They wanted to go in, they wanted to try to go in for a fight again. The Claw pushes Kyushu back into deep into enemy territory, but it will start things off. Distraction Pulse pulling everyone back. Super Lunatic saving his implosion onto Christmas, not using it as of now as Everlasting Love takes down one, but they lose two in the process.
A little bit too much commitment into that fight as they gave Night Shiki 2 free kills, especially since the Lord is about to come. So I guess I can see where they're coming with this, because there's realistically two ways to play around this, right? Be really aggressive before the Lord even crashes, just so that you will be able to take control and take all of the turrets. That's the greedy play. Otherwise, because this is just the first Lord, just focus on taking down all of the exterior turret, all the T1s and T2s, and you are done. Play the slow game, which is unfortunately not what Everlasting Love had in mind.
Vision already popped up, Sus Bomba drawing the attention over to himself as the waves starting to push in for Everlasting Love. AOG set things into motion. Pogiaco taking a little bit too much damage, taunted up by Kyushu on the back line. There's a traction pulse and an implosion play, trying to push everyone back, but Fist Crack denies them that privilege as Sus Bomba gets a monster kill onto the back line. That's a free hit, onto free hit. Three members of Sovereign SG go down. They lose Kyushu, but a sacrificial play was very much worth it for them.
And almost even taking down the bottom lane T3, but we'll eventually see how that worked out. A very aggressive play from the side of from the side of Kyushu, dropped all the way in, but at least we do have very committal plays from Sovereign SG themselves. 3 men out from that side. I'm pretty sure that Everlasting Love is really happy with the outcome, as top lane's T3 is down to lower than 50%. Middle lane down to 50, and bottom lane completely ravaged out.
Speaking of ravage, desperately get that orange buff, going in the hands of Night Shiki. Sovereign SG don't have much resources to play with. They are roughly around 7,000 gold behind of Everlasting Love, and this looks like a very precarious situation. Super Lunatic always finding the right targets onto the implosion, but no follow-ups whatsoever. Speaking of which, Fake Cutie testing his damage a little bit on the back line. His Traction Pulse pulls 2 members back. Everlasting Love will not want to commit into this fight as of now. Lord already spawned up. They need to be able to look towards that objective right as of this moment. And Sovereign SG, again, nowhere is safe outside of their home.
As now 14 minutes into this game, Lord's currently available. Do have a little bit more before Sovereign SG even have any form of chance. Oh!
Nice little implosion onto 2. Sending things into motion though. Nice little Fist Crack as well, trying to push everyone back out of the way. Night Shiki, 3 kills onto 2 members. Kashi and Willie goes down by the hands of this Ranger. As Everlasting Love, they bit a little bit too much that they can chew, trying to draw all of them back as Kong tries to stop Kyushu in his tracks. They want to search out for more. This might be a pivotal objective take for Sovereign SG. AOG will land, and Fake Cutie takes out Kong in the process. Pogiaco picks up the Lord for themselves, and Sovereign SG buys himself enough time and diminishes the gold lead by 4,000.
Boy, oh boy, this is definitely a turnout that is not what I expected. I thought that Everlasting Love pretty much had that fight for the Lord, but now Sovereign SG, they can actually fight back. Oh, Pogiaco!
Disintegrated, vaporized, vanished into thin air. The Traction Pulse set things into motion once again. The non-committal ultimate from that Kimmy that enabled Everlasting Love to continuously get a setup though. Fake Cutie shut down by Night Shiki. What a play. Granger's coming online. He's locked in and ready to go. 15 minutes in. Lord marching down the bottom side. I don't think Everlasting Love will be able to come back into this one. Discipline needs to show from Everlasting Love. A little bit too much friendly banter down in the mid side.
This is a very interesting movement from the side of Everlasting Love. They want to defend their turret so badly against the Lord that they walked out to the river line, which is something that we don't see very often. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that the Sovereign even allowed them to do that, given that top lane, they pretty much get the T2 or down for themselves already. But unfortunately, middle lane T1, untouched.
Gold lead peaked at 7,000 right now. Sovereign SG has all the resources in their favor. And stepping out of their base doesn't seem so scary anymore for them. It's Everlasting Love right now. It's a very precarious situation where you do have to deal with the Juice In. You do have to deal with the Boxia who's constantly denying your heals coming up. You can't rely on the AOG. You can't rely on the Fist Crack and the wall anymore that Willie's built. The Sovereign SG has Super Lunatic's Implosion that could turn the tides of battle at any time. Traction Pulse will land. Super Lunatic uses the dash to get away safe. But now, Sovereign SG is just playing passively. They're not scared. They're not deterred by Everlasting Love.
Now, I just want to see the damage output from Everlasting Love when it
Ooh,
comes
bottom
down to
side though.
teamfight. Like,
Fake Cutie.
Fake Cutie.
Stuck in the middle. The Crimson Beacon just to chase Fake Cutie down.
Oh!
The bomb will land and he goes out. The backline though, Willie trying to find some consolation prize onto them. No Hayabusa anymore, but silver lining is they still have that Lord in play. The next 40 seconds, things will go down. Traction Pulse will hit. Flicker already committed by Creole Meow. Kong take a lot of damage, soaking things up, but it's just a tickle. As Sovereign SG, they get what they can and they get out of the way.
Very aggressive play from Fake Cutie, trying to go for solo assassinations, especially when there is no form of initiation from his fellow teammates. I would have loved a lot more if they are able to kind of play with one another, but in the meantime, Implosion.
Implosion onto Willie. The Fist Crack tries to delay that battle a little bit. The Claw will push him into place. The Winter Crown already initiated, delaying his Abydo Doom. But he will still go down by the hands of Night Shiki. 7-1-3 for this Granger. Everlasting Love can't throw bodies like this anymore.
Yeah. I don't like where this is going, right? Even though Everlasting Love have got the T3 down in the bottom lane with a very strong minion wave up to the top lane, which Sovereign SG is not going to be dealing with at all, Everlasting Love will still have a very strong Everlasting Love, Sovereign SG, they will still have a very strong late game that they can play around with, and Everlasting Love, they can't keep aggroing themselves like that, man.
Slowly but surely, more damage has already started. Fate QT has to buy some time, or gets a reset. Super Lunatic in position on the Tri-Bush. Sovereign SG looking for more fitting prizes down on the turrets. Kong chasing that Kimmy down. Now without that Kimmy, without the Traction Pulse, what will Everlasting Love do to start things off? You have the AOG Kong looking for an angle, looking for a backline approach onto Akashi, taking the Harris down, but he's still alive, he's still well. Lord already started, he's on a third. AOG lands onto no one. The Claw will bring them out, but Sussbomba going for the backdoor play. He might be able to do it here. Everyone's making a run for the hills. Base at half health. Kong, Pogyako coming in. Sussbomba's all alone. He bought so much time. He will get blown up and disintegrated by Pogyako, but the Lord will be free for Everlasting Love taking. Fake Cutie will start things off with that. Getting pulled back though. No more Kimmy. No more damage though. But he will not be able to take down the Lord on his own. What is going on?
Oh my goodness! Sussbomba bought you guys so much time! That would have been a lost take!
The minions are pushing in though. Kashi already popped his aim and force, try to dance around, try to do as much damage as possible. The Crimson Beacon will keep Kuromala safe. He will be able to use that claw to try to pull everyone back. The Lord finally gets taken down by the hands of Fake QD, but the fate is sealed. And Sovereign SG takes down 2, takes down 3. Immortality popped up by Kyushu. 4 members down for Everlasting Love.
But at what cost? Sussbomba had a very good sacrificial play. It was a all or nothing kind of play. I go down to the middle lane. If I manage to draw everyone over to me, then great. We have an advantage in taking the Lord. But Everlasting Love decided to split their forces and Fate Cutie to deal with the Lord all by himself. This is a 20-minute Lord that a Hayabusa can't deal all by himself.
Yeah. Comparison situation once again. Super Lunatic leads the charge. Pogyako coming online as of now. Night Shiki dealing a lot of damage. Everlasting Love has way too many more priority targets to take down. or done and dusted. Sovereign SG leading the charge once again. They are up in terms of economy. That was free money handed over on a silver platter by Everlasting Love.
Okay, at least I'll say that gold economy,
Doesn't really matter at this point.
yeah,
But you're still giving up crucial resources. You're giving up
indeed. The
crucial
immortality
depth
was
timers.
the immortality was popped from the side of Kyushu, so that is one of the very important things. Number one from a Gatokacha that allows the Gatokacha to be super aggressive with the AOG right in the heart of Sovereign SG. So now that they don't have that,
Kakashi getting a little bit too close for comfort right there. Got locked in by the implosion though. Able to dash out. Super Lunatic able to find two. Able to walk out just a little bit more. The claw will come back in. Really takes him out in the process. No more takeover for the next 55 seconds as Everlasting Love has the super minions in tow. They might be able to push this down, but not enough though. It's 21 minutes on the clock. Gold doesn't matter as of now. It's just the death timer. You don't want to make any crucial mistakes. You don't want to give up your life all willy-nilly. Get the pun.
I got it. There was a small little mistake from Meow to kind of yoink Willy closer to them, thinking that, okay, this is probably a point where we can kind of fight back against the dunk, but it only helped and served served to help Willy get a little bit closer just so that he can SQ right into the face of Super Lunatic and bring him down. So because of that death, they no longer have a T-Girl with an impending implosion.
Oh, Kyushu. He's just toying with Death Dog, getting pulled back by the claw once again. Togiako dealing a lot of damage, able to use that Revitalize to heal himself back up, but no crucial battle spell for the next 70 seconds as the Enhanced Lord spawns up once again. Akashi toying with death, getting a little bit too close for comfort. He's saving his Damon Force for the big fight. The traction pulse won't land onto Super Lunatic. As the Tigro comes out, I don't think Everlasting Love should play this like that. They should be able to go for the objectives instead.
So now we do have got Everlasting Love that is literally just spawn camping of Sovereign SG. Just hiding themselves right outside the base because of the mega creeps that they have gotten.
Oh, Kyushu? Kyushu?
Huh? Oh no.
Oh, that was a huge lag, walking straight into that base though. I think that was a huge blunder. I felt like that was a technical issue. Viable for a pause though. I don't think that should have happened.
They even stopped attacking him at one point in time.
Yeah, I think they're
he
also
would have
figuring
died
out.
from the turret. They would have died from the fountain anyway.
Yeah, this was pretty huge. Implosion play, set things into motion. Doesn't have that push anymore. Kashi still keeps himself alive as of now. Pops his Aiming Force a little bit too late. They have to take down all of Sovereign SG twice because all of them has immortality, but the Shadow Kill comes in strong. Deals a lot of damage, takes down two in the process though. No more Kyushu. No, Daishiki takes down one after another. That's a triple for the Granger. For the back line, Sazbomba going in for the base. They're all running for the hills. Gets that recall though with Sazbomba. Great play yet again, buying them some time to get Everlasting Love alive.
Yo, Sasmomba, can you just play as like jungler or EXP from now on?
Sazbomba, great call into all of this, but the Lord will go into the hands of
Hey.
They might be able to go again, but there's an immortality on that Juicin. Sazbomba can't do this all alone, but here comes Kyushu back out of base after that respawn. I don't know what happened there. He's just walking into base. Man, that was just such an unfortunate maneuver from Everlasting Love.
Oh, drat. So now Everlasting Love lost their lead. They lost the fact that they had a full Baron base on the opposite side. As such, now, the Lord, which is very tanky by the way, is going to be marching in favor of Sovereign SG. The middle lane T1 and T2 ought to go down.
Minions slow pushing in. Sovereign SG leading the charge. Kong trying to desperately pull the trigger, finding the right target. Especially onto Sazbomba. There's attraction pulse locking Kong into place, but not enough to take him down. Not enough damage as of now. There's Everlasting Love. They toyed with death a little bit too long in the early game. They could have ended it in the 15-minute mark, but right now, 25-minute game, the scoreline, even Steven, Sovereign SG, economy up 6,000. Doesn't really matter at this point, just a little bit more extra items, but it shouldn't have come to this. This Everlasting Love. Man, the discipline really starts to show. The Shadow Kill just to clear out that wave. They desperately need to save themselves from that T1. And they do.
They
The
really
Lord
want the
still,
T1.
Lord's still marching up on the top side. They have to deal with that.
It really loved the T1 at this point in time. Honestly, I don't even know whether they can keep the T1. Like, now they have to deal with the Lord. The middle lane will push in. Like, without a doubt, the middle lane will have to push in.
As long as Tigro's still up, as long as Tigro, Super Lunatic, has that immortality in tow, things are looking up for Sovereign SG. This is a very, very passive gameplay. Once again, super minions won't be able to spawn anymore. They buy themselves some time, 40 seconds until the next Lord spawns up. It looks like an even game. The next Lord might be able to win this entire series. Man, this is a very unfortunate situation for Everlasting Love. Hell, they took control of the entire game right from the start, but they don't want to be in this defensive position.
So at this point, even for Everlasting Love, they just managed to defend their base pretty nicely. Hold on.
Nice implosion of Sushi, tanking a lot of damage until the rest of the members of Everlasting Love comes back in. All of his AOG, able to get out safe. Crucial resources already used up, but look at where Bomba is, slowly and sneakily pushing down the waves. And as Sovereign SG has to work for this, Everlasting Love is just holding on. They're barely holding on. Akashi! Won't be able to get away. Press away. That was just so close. Nightshiki almost took him out. Willie around the corner though. The Lord starting up, getting another reset once again. Doesn't look like any of these two teams wants to take on this Lord. Not now.
They're both lost. I gotta have to say, they're both lost little puppets, not knowing how to end this game. But the Attraction Pulse misses just by a hair.
No flicker for the Tigro though.
Just a little bit more before we inch into something. We're looking for a small little revelation. This is a 27-minute game, guys, and I don't think that it's going to be ending anytime soon. Implosion onto Kyushu.
Oh, nice little find onto the back line. Kyushu won't be able to use the AOG to get out. They're sounding the horns. Nagashi goes down. Pokiako coming in strong. The Crush will pull back too. Bomba takes down one. It's immortality pop by Pokiako. The Winter Crown in tow will get shut down. No more jungle for Sovereign SG. But it doesn't really matter though. It's Bomba as secondary damage dealer. Waves are pushing in. Sovereign SG has to find that defense. No more immortality for that Tickle as well. As Everlasting Love, they managed to equalize the scoreline.
Oh my
75
God.
seconds on the death timer. 28 minutes in.
Oh my goodness. They fought back. They lost. And then fought back again. There's just so many fighting back at this point in time. But Kong, oh!
Immortality. Still in tow. Winter Crown. Able to keep himself safe. Okay, that goes wide though. Sovereign SG. They have prayed to multiple gods. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what they ate this morning, but this is just luck at its best.
This is just Sweat City. These boys are sweaty. Both not willing to yield to the opponents at all. This has been an impeccable defense coming in all the way through from Sovereign SG.
Lord already started up by Fake QT. Sovereign SG doesn't have the Pickle, doesn't have the Lucas. On the bottom side, Willie a little bit too close to death, toying with that claw, brings him back. As Kong tries to lead on the charge, AOG tries to stop the advances onto that Lord. Everlasting Love will be able to snap pick this Lord up with Akashi in tow. Akashi dealing that damage as well. Kong giving a little bit more information, but it will. Oh! Pokiaka with the steal of the Lord! Gonna set things in motion though. Winter Crown will keep himself safe and alive. Traction Pulse pulls Kong back, immobilized, trapped onto the wall. Able to walk out safe for now. As Kyushu tries to go in for that charge. Pepper Spray will block him into place. What a play by Pokiako, just prances right in with the retribution.
There has never been a point in time where a team wins a lot and immediately runs back home. But hold on, another implosion of Kyushu.
It's Kyushu. Kyushu won't be able to survive this one. 80 seconds on the death timer. Kong taking a little bit too much damage. He will go down to the hands of Sasamba as well. The Lord will be marching in. It's a 4v4 in this late stage of the game. 30 minutes into this game on a best of one. It just feels like a best of three.
Right now, it just feels like a best of 5 for
Oh
me.
man, a best of 7. That's Willie taking a little bit too much. Buys the immortality just in the nick of time to save himself from this damage. Naishiki still coming on strong. He does have the Sky Piercer, but won't be able to reach Willie in time. Everlasting Love carefully deals with his Lord on the uptown as Sovereign SG needs that time for Pogyako and Kong to come back in.
As at this point, it is the Lord that will be dealt with by Everlasting Love. And Sovereign SG, once again, they don't have a way to end this game again, as Everlasting Love got every single one of these waves, except for the bottom lane, just pushing right in. They have constantly been managing to get these Lords, but because of the staggered death timer from inside the Sovereign SG, they can never ever be able to group up as one. And it has been a repeating pattern where the implosion just lands on the Kyushu. They are playing a pick-off composition on the Kyushu over and over and over again.
Was that really just use the Fist Crack onto thin air? I guess you can just wait for that one. Traction Pulse, post Super Lunatic back, able to just dash out of the way, but Sovereign SG, Everlasting Love throws all strategy out the table. It's an all-out brawl every single time. 30 seconds until the next Lord spawns up. We keep saying it's the last Lord, but it's never the last. It's been 5 Lords.
At this point in time, let's make a bet.
How many Lords will there be?
No, how? Okay, sure. Okay.
Will it hit 40 minutes though?
Okay, I think that there's still a possibility, like maybe like 38, 39. But okay, so now we have a total of 5 Lords. I'm betting on 7 Lords.
7 Lords?
Yeah, how
I
about
would
you?
say 7, yeah.
You say 7 as well?
Yeah, let's go
No,
7.
Let's go 6.
Okay, I'll go
fine.
6.
8. Okay, 6.
I'll go 6 if
Okay,
Everlasting
so
Love goes for the Lord this time around, but Fist Crack lands on the 4 though. Super Lunatic finding the angle, holding on to the implosion for Christmas. Trying to give an early birthday present over to Everlasting Love, but will hold that trigger though. Man, this is getting a little bit spicy at this point.
Oh my goodness. At this point in time, I think that even small little brawls
Look
like
at the gold score, 102.7k.
I think this is my first time seeing 100,000 gold in a team.
Oh,
Finally,
nice little
two-man!
onto 2, pushing them back. That is unleashing the beast onto
one.
both of them. Willie pops that flicker out of the way. That's going to be a chase. Akashi won't be able to get too close. Willie will be able to go down this time by Night Shiki. But the base though, the base is in shambles. They have to go back. They have to retreat. Grow Meow. Winions though. There's 2 members.
Oh no!
The base is coming in.
No.
Oh
Wait!
no! What is going on? What the heck was that? Woo! That could have been it.
Churros.
Abstract.
Churros.
The base is still strong.
No.
The Winions are not enough.
No.
Starting things off with that Lord. Pogyako in position. Big Cutie trying to find anything that he can at all. Saving his shadows. Akashi goes close. He doesn't see Super Lunatic at all. What is he doing? He's walking. He's toying with that.
Wait. Super Lunatic.
Okay, he gets a reset. What is going on?
Oh my god! Pogyako. Hey brother, you have half HP. You sure you want to be here? Yes, go back home, please.
But the waves are pushing in though. The waves are pushing in. Naishiki can take care of this, but
Yeah, he can do it, no problem.
not for long though. 35 minutes on the clock. They don't have the 6th Lord as of now.
Brother, even the marksman having problem with the ballista minion.
It's come to that point, huh?
It's come to that point, dude.
What? Okay, they don't see Sus Bomba at all. Super Lunatic just walked past that bush. I think he's in the right position right now. Fake Cutie getting locked up by Kong. Won't be able to go for this one. Holding on to the Shadow Kill for this Lord Dance. There's Kyushu and Sus Bomba making their way downtown. It's just holding out on that fort down the purple buff.
You know what? I think we are this close to have the ballista minion to have the almost same defense and health as a first one.
I think so too. I think so too. The longer this goes, I think the minions will become the Winions.
And the longer this goes, the more our sanity is drained.
Yeah.
Are you
True
okay?
to their name, this game is everlasting.
Yeah, but no love. No
Oh,
love.
Akashi, toying with death.
Nope. No, that's not gonna do anything.
He dashed away! Akashi goes down! Sovereign SG popped in all of their resources though. Pogyako will be next to fall. Able to get out safe. Sus Bomba blocked up by that gotcha. as Kyushu able to save the secondary damage dealer from harm's way. That's 70 seconds on the clock that Kashi's never going to get back as Willie tries to buy enough time to block all of them back. No more. The implosion is still in tow. Might be able to pop that in. It's fake cute and Sus Bomba tries to go in from the back line. Touch and pulse. Won't land onto two. Here comes the shadow kill. Pogyako. Immortality popped up along with the Winter Crown. Can't find a way down to the back line.
No one
And they drop and they go. It's a boxing match.
No one died! We're 36 minutes into this damn game! Kill the Lord!
Oh, fake cute, yes! You got that shaky. Finally popping his immortality for the past 20 minutes.
He had immortality this whole time?
For 20 minutes. Change it up for the rose gold. It's got a BOD, but I don't think it's enough though. One more time he goes down. It might be it for Everlasting Love, but it's been what we're saying for the past 20 minutes. Super Lunatic, gonna conceal play on the back line.
Oh,
He finds Sus Bomba, this implosion onto the Kimmy!
No!
He goes down, goes to 85 seconds on a death timer. AOG goes wide, but the winners are coming in strong. One more hit!
Wait, hold on a second! This is just one more hit from Cannon Media!
They might be able to save it though! Oh, it has been 37 minutes.
Of constant shouting from Churros. Are you sure you want to play the whole day?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's getting a little bit interesting this time around, but a stalemate. And true to their name, this game has been everlasting. No more Kimmy, no more Badang. And even Sovereign SG is struggling to take this Lord down. Fake Cutie sources out more information on the shadows. Kyushu in the midst of enemy territory. Basically a stalemate. He doesn't have the immortality. He does have the AOG in tow. Getting pulled back as the Lord will go into the hands of Pogyako. They take what they can and they go. But this Lord might be tricky for Everlasting Love. They still have 3 T3 turrets in their name. Lord marching up in that top side.
So how's this gonna look like for now?
But we hit 40 minutes though. This is the 6th Lord. We said 7. We said 7. It might very well be
4, 5, 6. Okay. So one more Lord, right? One more Lord. My expectations, right?
one more Lord is our expectations, yes.
Yes. Ow.
Our expectations, I say 6. I say maybe Everlasting Love throws this one in their base, but man, Night Cheeky doesn't have the immortality anymore. The moment he dies, and look at his scoreline, dude. 17 kills.
17.
1 death out of all of this.
Kinda crazy, huh? There's just so much things going on around, and yet this Granger, they've only died once. And there's so many people that have died so many times, like Lunatic at 8 times, Kong at 6 times, Pogyako 5 times. Kyushu though is probably the one that suffered the most death and ate the most amount of implosions. Total of 10 kills. At this point in time, there's really not much that I can say as my role as Telecaster anymore. This is just like
Yeah, it's an all-out brawl. It's
Yeah.
whoever loses their life first, but there are 23,000 gold lead ahead of Everlasting Love at this super late game mark.
they're finally here.
We're finally at that moment with implosion onto 2 on the back line. The traction fall stops everyone's advances, but the damage will come through from the AOG blocking off all the escape routes. Kyushu buying some time, weaving, bobbing around, pulling everyone back.
Oh my
They
God.
will deal with that Lord. No more T3 in the middle and top side. Kyushu, inevitable doom, goes down in the end. Is Everlasting Love successful defense at the 40-minute mark?
Because of that passing from Kyushu. Wait, that's not over yet!
Nice little fist crack onto 2. Night Cheeky loses life. Finally, 90 seconds. No more Granger.
At 40 minutes mark, we won't be looking at Night Shiki for a whole damn minute. And that one damn minute is gonna make a huge damn difference. Because the Lord is now back again. Didn't they just kill the Lord?
No, I should have said 7. What? But you said 7. You said 7. 40 minutes on the clock, ladies and gentlemen.
This is officially the longest MPL SG game that we have ever casted.
Woohoo!
Okay. Okay.
No damage at all. I mean, that is a look at the
No,
lunatic.
don't expect anything from Willie at this point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Little punches, nice little traction
damage,
pulse right there.
kills.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, look. Okay, I want to see like who has Thunder Belt, because
Oh, yeah.
at this stage, the Thunder Belt stacks is just beyond comprehension.
Probably the most amount of stacks. that
It's
you can
look
have.
at Willie. Okay, he's got the shields back up. You're just poking him.
He's not gonna die, dude.
Yeah, okay, no damage whatsoever. Fist crack into the Unleashed Beast. Damage onto him, non-existent. Soaking everything back up once again.
Okay. Now, the Lord is gonna be touched by Everlasting Love.
Please, can we see the itemizations
Oh,
right now? I just want to see
bottom-
like, okay, who is the ones that have the Thunder Belt and who has the ones like unlimited score lines? You got Gato Katra. That's why he's like all gung ho going in. You got Padang with the Thunder Belt as well.
Okay.
No Thunder Belts on
On
Sovereign
Sovereign
SG.
SG.
Silver lining is Everlasting Love. The longer this game goes, they have the advantage.
Just because of the
Lord,
Everlasting stack.
Lord goes to Bogiak!
Oh my god! Okay, this is not gonna be over just yet because Fate Cutie, he managed to get himself right out of dodge.
He still has the immortality. Still has immortality.
Oh,
Calm,
calm,
the immortality. He has the Winter Cloud. Save himself just for a little bit. Will go down by the hands of Willie.
But they have the Lord.
They have the Lord.
They have the Lord. Talk about sanity, right?
We talk about sanity.
This is hours out of the window. The moment that we are commentating over Kiwi's basic attacks.
Yeah, okay. So Lord, half health. Kimi is coming in strong. They will be able to defend against this one. So it will be an overwhelming 8 Lords, unless Willie
Nah, trust me, he's not
getting
gonna
collapsed
die.
on though.
Trust me, he's not gonna die.
I think Naishiki might be
I
able to
think
take
he
him
might,
out.
he might actually die.
He's starting with that though, very, very deep in. But then
He's
you
buying
lose
so much time
both
though.
the box set and you lose the Badang. Getting pulled back by the claw. Got the Winter Crown into immortality. Buys himself a second life again. But his team won't be able to save him this time around. Willie ultimately goes down by the hands of Pogi.
But he bought time.
He bought time.
They dealt with the Lord.
70 seconds, ladies and gentlemen.
Minute.
To the Lord comes up once again. Kashi.
Actually,
This might be it though. Traction
Might
force
be
pulls
it.
that too. That is Naishiki. Crucial play with the Rhapsody.
Is it
Hitting his
finally?
mark. It might be finally over though. That's the super minions pushing in.
is it finally over? With 3 men
2v3.
down.
2v3.
2v4. No, 2v5 now. Kong is back.
Big QD doesn't have. Oh,
Here we go.
Naishiki with the better kill.
Kyushu.
One man against the world.
Gato
A wipeout.
Kata.
Saving us from insanity.
Goodbye. 43 minutes game. Goodbye.
Well, congratulations to Sovereign though. 45-minute game.
Congratulations to us for surviving.
And thank you to Naishiki.
Thank you.
It shouldn't go on that long.
No, it shouldn't. This is
It would have been a 15-minute game. 30 minutes.
this is a whole 3-game series. Good job.
It was a whole 3 game and
Yeah.
more. I think it's best of 7.
Good job. You did well.
It should have been 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Abstract.
Yeah.
No, we have one more game after this. Before we actually cut for break.
Yeah. But I think that we need that.
Well,
I hope you guys enjoyed that.
it was pretty fun. I mean,
For the players,
for the players.
maybe. Do you
I
think
think
they have
on-
fun?
I want to actually imagine what is going on site. Because it's like 45-minute game. 8 Lords. 8 Lords.
This
We're
is-
going to the stats.
Yeah.
20 kills.
Okay. So, yeah, they have a lot of money. They have a lot of kills, a lot of assists, a lot of items as
A
well.
lot of items.
Yeah, a lot of items. Yeah, you guys can see there's also a lot of death. So great statistics. That's what we needed.
Naishiki, 21 kills. That
yes.
is beautiful.
Yes,
It's a single double. I thought it would be a double double, but
but double single, double
doubles-
single single.
double single single.
Okay.
Um,
How much damage do they deal to the turrets? I think that
we should go to the next
yeah, I think that is,
graphic.
yeah, I think I think that would probably be the one that we want to see. But
Naishiki definitely MVP.
Naishiki definitely MVP without a doubt for
Without
sure.
a doubt.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
Yeah, 21 kills and
I
all.
actually am interested in the number of stacks of Thunderbelts that Willie and Kyushu has. Actually,
Yeah.
Kyushu sold his Thunderbelt in the late game.
Oh, isn't that a huge waste, dude?
That was a big, big waste.
Oh man, that might be one. It might actually be a contributing factor as to
I feel
why
so.
he died or why it's not that tanky anymore.
Look at the damage dealt and the damage taken. Kong with 600,000.
Sauce Bomber with 290,000 hero damage.
Oh man.
444,000 damage taken from Kyushu.
200,000 from Akashi as well. Naishiki, as much of a kills that he has, barely seeping into 200,000.
He don't have 200,000 damage. Sauce Bomber has got like a crazy bunch of damage.
It's all onto Super Lunatic and Kong.
Damn.
Wow.
Wow.
69% team fight participation by
Nice.
Akashi. Nice.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. I think we're done with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Congrats.
to Sovereign SG.
Yeah. How many wins do they have now?
2 wins, 1 loss.
2 wins, 1 loss. Okay. Okay.
However, Everlasting Love is 1 win, 3 losses.
3 losses.
Because the previous one with Absolute Zero. Cut to the MVP. Congratulations, Naishiki.
Yep. Congratulations.
21 kills,
Mm-hmm.
82% kill participation.
Perfect. Perfect. Great. A lot of hero damage that we talked about,
A
but
lot of
not
hero damage.
as much as the Kimi. So technically speaking, Kimi on the magical damage still kind of make a lot more sense because she
It's magic damage anyways.
she did a lot.
Yep.
She did a lot. For
Man,
well, okay.
42,000 gold. I think I've never
Never
thought I
seen.
lived this day to see this
Never
number.
never seen that kind of number.
Did you get a Savage?
Um,
Or not this
no,
game, right?
not this game.
The previous game was like another Granger with Savage.
It was another Granger.
It was like
Akashi.
Akashi Granger.
Yeah, it was
Ah.
Akashi.
It's all blur to me.
Yeah. We are blur.
I
I-
am blur.
I am blur.
Yeah.
High blur.
It is, fun fact. Immortality, 120-second cooldown. For
It-
Immortality
It
pop up
feels
once again.
nothing here.
It feels like nothing.
Yeah, like just use only.